Hey guys, so I'm finally back. The reason why it took me over a month to return is because I felt a little bored of the company lately. Like, they have been giving us really lackluster, insipid storylines, and it's just really hard to react, let alone make topic videos on the current product when the current product is not living up to its full potential. So I wanted to take a little break. I'm back now. I feel a little bit rejuvenated, even though the whole YouTube ad policies toward wrestling channels are getting fucked up all over the place. I know about it. It's terrible. But nonetheless, I have returned. A lot of you guys were asking me my opinion on Jinder Mahal winning, how I felt about it. Honestly, I see through it. Jinder Mahal is nothing more than a puppet, right? WWE is just exploiting Mahal because of his heritage, and they see his heritage as a cash cow for India. So they just want to make money off of him during the Indian tour, and he won't have the title for long, but that's all he is. He's a puppet in WWE's game. You know, it is kind of sad that's the reason he got the push. Like, if that was me, I would feel like shit if I'm getting pushed for a stupid reason like my heritage, and they could benefit in the country where my heritage is. You know, like, I just think that's really silly, but I guess you could also look at it as a push is just a push. So while the full card is not out yet, the meat and potatoes of this card has been revealed, and I just want to say that Money in the Bank, to me and for me, is definitely a top 4. I don't really look at Survivor Series as a top 4, again, in my opinion. It just doesn't do anything for me. Usually Survivor Series is a very underwhelming card. In my opinion, I go from Royal Rumble, which is my all-time favorite pay-per-view, to WrestleMania, to SummerSlam, and Money in the Bank is my 4th. Money in the Bank always has solid matches, and it's always memorable. Like last year, Dean Ambrose won. He cashed in the Money in the Bank contract. That was pretty crazy. That was a very insane reaction. So there's always something special that happens at Money in the Bank. Now, let's dive into the matchups. So for the tag titles, we have the Usos defending against the New Day. I definitely think that the New Day are going to win. They're on the poster of this year's Money in the Bank. So I feel like there's no other team to defeat the Usos at this point. I mean, Breezango should have won, but they didn't, even though they should have. The New Day are the only other team that I could see winning. I can't see the Colognes winning. I can't see the Ascension winning. It has to be the New Day. And, you know, the New Day has done it all before, and I feel like they're kind of a stable that needs to break up sooner rather than later, because they've been around for 3 years. It's time for Big E to go his separate ways, and I would love Big E to be in a higher main event picture. Maybe not the main event, but like an upper mid-card feud. That would be pretty good, because he's a really good wrestler. Up next, we have Lana versus Naomi for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. So I do have to rant. I'll give you a second to get your headphones. First and foremost, I love Lana. I think she's great on the mic. She has a relationship with the audience. They all love her. But what a way to re-debut her. The problem I have with this is that when she came out and she was asking Shane to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, the historic Money in the Bank ladder match with the women, he said, no, you have to earn that. 20 minutes later, Naomi goes backstage and talks to Shane McMahon, and she's like, I want Lana, and I'll even put my title on the line. And Shane's like, are you sure about that? And she's like, yes, I want Lana. He's like, okay, it's booked. Lana versus Naomi at Money in the Bank for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. What? This is very commonplace with WWE programming. There are so many holes in the storylines. So she has to earn a shot just to be in the Money in the Bank match to get a title shot eventually. But she can automatically just get a title shot just by standing there and doing nothing? Where, in what world does that make sense? What? that was a really bad writing mistake, and there's a huge hole in that plot. Like, what the fuck? So many people saw through it. I don't know, that was really bad. But my other issue with Lana is that she's only been training for like a year, and she's only had like a dozen matches at house shows in NXT in Florida for a year. And I've heard that she's not all that good. So I worry for her because I think it's too much too soon. They should have built her up slowly, gradually to that title picture if they wanted to in, say, a year from now. Not right away. You know, wrestling those little 500 attendance house shows in NXT, anyone can do that. When Lana is on a big stage, such as Money in the Bank with over 20,000 people present, that might frighten her and scare her. I think they're pushing her way too quickly. It's even crazier than Jinder's push, because at least Jinder was a trained wrestler for all those years. Lana just went from valet to wrestler, almost like in the blink of an eye. I mean, she was in the WrestleMania 32 8 women, or was that 10 women tag? Yeah, it was a 10 women tag. But she only was in there for 5 seconds. You know, she wasn't able to really showcase anything besides a high kick. So I think it's kind of like the example, you're trying to learn to swim, you're a novice swimmer, you're learning the pool. If you get thrown into the Atlantic Ocean, you're gonna sink, right? Because you're not that skilled at swimming yet. So I feel like this is kind of the same situation. Lana might crumble under the pressure. I hope I'm wrong, because I love Lana. Naomi is a good wrestler, but I don't look at Naomi and I think, oh, she could carry a rookie. No, Naomi's good with going against someone who's decent too. Naomi's not like the kind of person who could carry someone. That's kind of more like Charlotte's realm. She could carry somebody. Naomi, not so much. I think, honestly, I have to say, it would be crazy for them to do Lana and put her over here. But I think they are going that route. I think they want to shock us, and I think that's going to be the big shock of Money in the Bank this year. I think Lana's going to win, and I fear for her because she's only had a couple of matches to her name in NXT house shows, so most people don't even know how she wrestles. But I've heard through the grapevine, one of my friends goes to those house shows because he lives in Florida, and he said, you know, she's not even on par with even like Alexa Bliss. So I don't know what that means. I think that means that she's not good at all. So I worry for her, especially under that microscope of the company where she's going to be at for Money in the Bank. She's going to be at such a high profile pay-per-view show, and she might just fail. So this isn't necessarily her fault. I think it's the creative's fault for pushing her at such a big match, her first big show, you know? Like, she's never wrestled a match on a main card yet, so, like a singles match. So I think that could be pretty bad. But I have a weird feeling that they want to keep pushing new people and shocking us. So I'm going to go with Lana to win, honestly. She does not deserve it by any means, but I think that's where they're going. Naomi didn't really have a good title reign. That's not her fault. I mean, she didn't even wrestle at Backlash. It was a tag team match. That's so stupid. It's just wasting away her title reign, in my opinion. But for some weird suspicion, I get a feeling. I get this weird feeling that Lana's going to win. We'll see. Up next, we have the first ever Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Finally we get this. After years and years and years of people discussing this, it has finally come to light. So we have Charlotte, Tamina, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Carmella. Now, as you guys all know, WWE is obsessed with breaking records, title reigns, and all that, making history, historic moments, right? Charlotte's gonna win this, let's be honest. That's WWE's Golden Girl. That's, you know, their John Cena. I I cannot see anyone else realistically winning. I mean, I would love to see Carmella win, but I just feel like they just look at her as like an under mid-carder kind of wrestler, and I don't think they like her all that much. Maybe Tamina to feud with Naomi if Naomi retains, but I still have to go with Charlotte. That is their golden child. Charlotte is the one who they can count on. Natalya deserves this, but I don't think that they're even thinking about Natalya. I think Charlotte is going to win. Charlotte's always in these historic, groundbreaking matches, like the Hell in a Cell match with Sasha, the Iron Woman match with Sasha. She's always breaking boundaries in the women's division, and again, she's included in a new women's match that is making history, the Women's Money in the Bank match. It's going to Charlotte, people. The writing's on the wall. Up next, we have Jinder Mahal facing Randy Orton in a rematch from Backlash. This is going to be in Randy Orton's hometown. This is the hometown curse. I definitely do not see Randy Orton retaining. I read somewhere that Jinder Mahal is going to drop the title to John Cena later in the summer. So, like I expected, I knew Jinder wasn't going to hold the title that long, but he definitely will defeat Orton at Money in the Bank. So, the Money in the Bank ladder match probably isn't going to be the main event, but it's the main event in my eyes, which is why I'm talking about it last. This match quite possibly is the greatest match this year in WWE. Like, on paper. You got Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. What? It's like my brain just exploded. That is incredible. That card, that talent in that match, unbelievable. That is going to be so insane. Quite possibly, on paper, my favorite Money in the Bank match with all the amazing people in it. I have to say, I think Dolph Ziggler and Sami Zayn are there for the amazing spots. So it comes down to Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, or Shinsuke Nakamura, who I think will realistically take it. It doesn't make sense for AJ Styles or Nakamura to win because they are going to be feuding with each other going into 34. My money's on Baron Corbin, baby, the lone wolf. I am a huge advocate of Baron Corbin. He's fucking incredible. I will be fair, though. Sami Zayn needs this as well. I'm not even a Sami Zayn fan, but let's call a spade a spade. Sami Zayn is falling in the rankings drastically, right? He's not getting the push that he really should have gotten because they just see him as someone who puts over great talent. I think he deserves the spot. I think that he should get a win here. But realistically, who I want and who I would bet money on, Baron Corbin. They look at Corbin as the total package. Super tall, super strong, covered in tattoos, unique moveset, has a really mysterious character to him. They can cash in on that. Corbin is an amazing heel, and I think now it's important for a heel to win Money in the Bank because a face won last year. I think it's only fair for Corbin to win. He's the only one I could see realistically taking it and holding that briefcase for a while. I could see him cashing in maybe around Royal Rumble time and going into Mania. I'm going with Corbin, you guys. Either way, that match is going to be fucking lit, and I am so stoked for this pay-per-view next weekend. It's going to be amazing. There's definitely going to be a lot of amazing reactions that I will be posting in the following week for Money in the Bank. So definitely subscribe. Follow me on Twitter if you're not following me there. I'm always posting really dope shit on there. I live tweet Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and pay-per-views. So definitely be sure to give me a follow. And until next time, I'll be back soon. Have a great day.